Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really good. So today I wanted to start a small series of videos, today being all about topical steroids. For as long as I can remember, I've always struggled with my skin, with eczema and dermatitis since being a small kid basically, and it's always been treated with topical steroids. Today's video is going to be all about those, how they work, what GPs don't tell you, and like a brief overview of my personal experience. This video is going to be split up into about 3 or 4 sections, from what are topical steroids, how they work, what GPs don't tell you about them, their side effects, and basically are they worth using. I'm not a doctor, just as a disclaimer. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dermatologist or anything like that. I'm not recommending anyone to do anything with these creams or anything like that. Do your own research, make your own decisions on whether you want to actually use them. This is just my personal experience and my own opinion of them. So the reason I'm making this first video on steroid creams is basically just because I've been prescribed them over a number of years and I've found a few things out that I wish I'd have known back then. I'm talking about 6-7 years ago now. I've had good and bad experiences with them, and there's a lot that GPs don't tell you that they actually do, which I'm going to share in this video today. So everything that I'm mentioning today, all the references, all the sources for the information that I'm sharing is going to be linked down below in the description box, along with the time cards of each section, so you can skip to whichever section that you want to watch first. So the first one is what topical steroids are and what GPs tell you they do. So I have had on numerous occasions GPs telling me that they are really good for your skin, they cure eczema, they do all these things. They don't actually cure eczema. So what topical steroids or TSs are is it's basically an anti-inflammatory cream that kind of helps the inflammation and the irritation of the skin when you've got like an eczema flare-up or like an infection or something. It does kind of ease that for you, and it does look like it's going. Topical steroids come in different forms. They come in a cream, ointment, lotions, gels, mousses. They come on bandages. They're just the topical steroids, and then there's oral steroids, which is a different thing, and also injections. And they come in different potencies as well, from mild, which is considered to be hydrocortisone, which is up here, and you can probably get that over the counter at the pharmacy or just off the shelf. It's that easy to buy. That's deemed mild, which in my opinion is still quite dangerous. You can go from that to a very potent one, which is Elicon or Dermavate, I think it is. So it goes from mild to potent to very potent. Each have a different percentage of active ingredient as well. So it all depends on which one you get basically. So a quick lowdown on where I've been basically in the past with GPs and stuff and getting this prescribed. So when I went to my GPs years ago and recently even, they've always told me that topical steroids are a really good thing and it stops the redness and inflammation of my skin. Yes, they do. They don't tell you what the side effects are. So I was recently given some quite potent steroid creams, and they told me to use them on my face, and as you can see, like, I've got a lot of redness on my face and on my neck, as you can see there. So I've got a lot of redness on my face, right? So I thought that was eczema. It's not. This is what steroid creams do. And I'm going to insert a couple of pictures, only a couple because I want to save the rest of them for the next video. But basically they told me to put the steroid cream on my face and eyes, on my neck, behind my ears, basically anywhere that I had eczema or eczema flare-up, for a week to 2 weeks. They gave me Fucibet to use for 1 week everywhere, and Humavate to use the second week, or vice versa, I forgot which one it is now. But basically I'm to use one for 1 week and the other the week after. I never got told of any really bad side effects that it can actually cause, otherwise I wouldn't have used them. And I've also been prescribed these from dermatologists as well for the past 5 years on repeat prescription, which is just ridiculous. So having said that, let's dive into what steroid creams actually are, what they really do, and what side effects they have. So yes, steroid creams do work. They do what GPs say they do, to an extent. They do take redness down, they do take inflammation down, they do stop all the symptoms basically. But what they don't tell you is that it doesn't cure any skin conditions, it doesn't take them away. They always come back with a vengeance. So I've got a few notes from the NHS website which actually tells you what steroid creams do, and from a few other sources as well, which, like I said, I'll leave down below in the description box for you to read for yourself, do your own research like I said. But basically how they work is they block the chemical reaction caused by irritation and they constrict the red blood cells so the redness subsides, and that's what you're seeing within a few days to a week of using them. Your immune system's being lowered. So there's something called cortisone, hence the name hydrocortisone, which is one of the milder creams. That's an artificial version of the hormone called cortisol, which is in the steroid creams, and it basically mimics what your body should do. It basically suppresses your immune system to stop these irritations from happening basically. But what that can do is, if you overuse or misuse these steroid creams, is it can actually cause problems on the outside, which is what you're seeing here, like this, or it can have systemic effects, which is internally in your body, in your organs, things like that. So the one thing that I think that they do disrupt quite a lot is your adrenal glands, especially if you just stop using steroid creams abruptly or you've used them for a long time already. Adrenal glands, they regulate everything in your body for your hormones and everything like that. So yeah, that it can mess it up big time. Another problem that people run into is that your skin, or your body should I say, can get used to the hormones in each of the percentage creams. So basically what happens is you have to eventually go up in strengths, so you end up in like a vicious circle. So the side effects of using topical steroids can go from burning and stinging on application, that is quite a common one I would say. Worsening of skin condition, they can worsen the skin condition that you're originally trying to treat, so that can be psoriasis, eczema, dermatitis. It can just flare up tenfold basically, and that's because of the topical steroids. Thinning of the skin or bruising, so anywhere where you've applied the cream any amount of times, whether that's over the first few weeks or you have it for years like me, your skin can become thinned, like I mentioned here. I've got that, I'm not sure whether you can actually see it, it's somewhere around here. So your skin can become thinned and you can bruise very easily. Contact dermatitis, you can develop that. Acne, rosacea, hyperpigmentation or hypopigmentation. I've actually got this on my lower legs as well. It can impair healing, wound healing, so you can basically take longer to heal. This side effect is probably one that really annoyed me the most because I wasn't never told about it, and if I'm completely honest, I would have never touched them knowing that it can cause this, especially from recent instructions from a GP that I had to put it around my eyes. So basically I found out that after doing a lot of research, not just for this video but just trying to figure out what this is on my face, I found out that using topical steroids around your eyes can actually cause glaucoma. Glaucoma can cause blindness, which is completely ridiculous that I was even told to put it around my eyes. So yeah, if you've been advised to put it around your eyes, do it once, twice at most, but yeah, just don't do it. I was told to do it for about a week to 2 weeks. Yes, it worked, it did subside, but as you can see here, this were 3 days before I stopped steroid cream on my face, and it went like this even though we're using it. And that's because my body got used to the steroid cream. Another one is steroid addiction. When you're using topical steroids anywhere in your body, you can develop something called TSW, which I'll talk about in a minute. But basically, to avoid TSW, people can tend to overuse steroid creams and get steroid addiction to try and avoid TSW. That's my understanding of it anyway. I've used steroid creams that much that it's caused hardened lumps around my ankle and where I had the initial eczema and I was itching it and stuff like that. It is scarred, but it does subside. It's gone down because I used to have it on the arch of my foot, well, on top of my foot. I used to have it and that's completely gone. So I do think it goes eventually, unless it's a really severe case. All the pictures from that will be on my next video because that's going to be my TSW journey, which will be next week. But yeah, it's basically hardened lumps or ulcers, and they're very dark purple or red areas. It's really hard to explain, but it's really like lumps. It's really textured basically. And like I mentioned, the last side effect is TSW. So topical steroid withdrawal usually happens when you come off steroid creams, maybe a week to 2 weeks after, or it could be a few days even, depends how long you've been using it for. It can actually happen before you come off steroid creams. Your skin can get used to it and you just need a higher dose or higher percentage of a more potent cream then to get the same results. And that's how it starts the big cycle of being stuck in this rut of steroid creams. So you'll have a lot of redness. It can also be known as red skin syndrome, and I'll put a picture up here as to why. This is how bad it can actually get for some people. Your skin just goes really red, inflamed, itchy all over, and it can be flaky, it can cut. I've got like cuts on the top of my eyelid here. Weeping skin, it causes water retention. So basically if you touch somewhere that's really inflamed, water literally and plasma just come out of your skin trying to heal because it's just that swollen up basically. It's very uncomfortable to live with and it can last from anywhere to a few weeks to a few months to even years. So be really mindful if you have been prescribed topical steroids. Just do your own research and just decide whether you actually do want to use them and how long for. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dermatologist, anything like that, but I have been through the good and the bad sides of using steroid creams. So the last section of this video is all about pros and cons, basically the good and bad things about these creams. So the pros first, which I'm not gonna lie, I've only got 3 for, and one of them can be sort of a con as well. So the first one being that they help the skin clear up quickly. It's a bit of a funny one, this one, because yes, they do help your skin clear up. It only masks the symptoms. The second one is there are different strengths, so you do have the potential to decide whether you do want to go into a more potent one or not. Again, it's a bit of a funny one because it's comes down to whether you do need it or not. And then the third one being that they work on a short-term basis, which if you do use them right, yes, they can be really good and your body can be okay with them and not have any issues whatsoever, but that's not been my experience, so which is why I'm sharing all this information today. So the cons, which there's definitely more of. So the first con is that they have bad side effects, which we just know of, we've just been through them. The second one being that, again, going with what I said before, they don't cure eczema, it just covers it up, so it only gives short-term relief. Third one is that it causes systemic effects. Like I said earlier, your adrenal glands can be affected, which it can cause other conditions basically, which are reversible in the most part, but yeah, just do research is all I'm saying. But yeah, they cause systemic effects and topical damage, so damage to your skin, thinning your skin, bruising, cuts, not healing properly, things like that. Next is your body always needs more of it. So to cure whatever you've got, like I said, eczema, psoriasis, whatever, you'll need a lot of it, and you'll need a lot of emollient as well. Steroid cream can be very harsh and is very harsh for a lot of people's skin, including mine, and I didn't know that the problems that I was having was because of the steroid creams and not because of the initial problem what I had before. So the last con I mean, there could be many more, trust me. But the last con is that they don't cure it. Like I've just said, they don't cure it, it's just a mask. The GPs do not tell you this, and I can't stress that enough, but they don't tell you that it doesn't cure it. They just say, yeah, it's going to take this away, it's going to take that away. They don't tell you that it's just a short-term relief. Basically, it's like taking paracetamol for your headaches and you're having chronic headaches. It's never going to cure them. It just masks it for that time. So overall, me personally, no, I wouldn't recommend steroid creams to anyone. I understand why people use them, and I understand why they do get prescribed, because it is a fast acting medicine. For me, the side effects just outweigh the good so much more, and I'll never be using them again. And yeah, just be mindful that there's so many more techniques that you can use, like different ways of applying cream so it doesn't start itching, because I know when you apply cream I have to do it like this now instead of like that, just because the hairs on your body, unless, I mean, you can't even shave when you've got eczema anyway because it just cuts, but when you do rub that cream in, it does stick your hairs down, and then when they come back up really slowly it starts to tickle your skin, and then that's when you start itching. So try different techniques, so like brush downwards really gently, just so they're not in all different directions basically, and that did help me quite a lot. I have wasted so many years using topical steroids, and I just feel like if I'd have not used them for however many years, my skin would be sorted by now if they'd have just told me what they actually did instead of lying. They just don't tell you the full story. I know they can't sit there and tell you all the ins and outs and everything. If you Google everything, sometimes it just tells you the wrong thing. It can be contradicting, so you need to properly do research, and that's what I've been doing for months now. It's just trying to work out what this is. Years ago I did suffer with TSW, and my skin was shocking. I cannot even tell you. I'll put all them in the next video, which will be uploaded next Sunday at 2 p.m. But yeah, just the extent of what topical steroids can do is just shocking. So please do your research before you use them. Don't take them lightly, basically. This weren't meant to be a rant, as ranty as it sounded. But it is quite frustrating when you're being told so many things over so many years, and then something happens and it could have been avoided. That's where the frustrations come from. But yeah, I really enjoyed making this video, and hopefully it does help some of you out there that's struggling with your skin and don't possibly know where it is. So yeah, this mini series will go on for about 4 videos long, I think. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button below, hit the bell notification button so you don't miss anything from me. I will leave my social medias down here if you want to give me a follow. I upload every other day on there, things that I don't share on YouTube. And yeah, stick around if you want to see more about skin things. There's going to be more. I mean, I can't do my usual makeup videos, as you can tell. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!